Welcome, listener. Ready for another deep dive? We're here to unpack the sources you shared and find the key takeaways. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah. Today we're looking at materials that outline AI Brief, episode 156, plus some related AI news from those same documents. It's basically a pulse check on what's currently top of mind in AI.
Exactly. Think of it as your shortcut through the highlights. Our job here, based on the sources, is to walk through the main points covered in that AI Brief episode.
Right, and those points coming straight from the material are Anthropic CEO raising alarms about job losses, XAI bringing Grok to Telegram, Opera's new AI agentic browser,
Okay.
how physics-based AI and these agents are already affecting jobs, and then just a quick rundown of other AI news and tools.
All right, let's get into it. So first up, a pretty stark warning. Your sources focus on Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, and his concerns about AI leading to mass job extinction.
Yeah, and what's really notable are the specific numbers he's apparently putting out there. The source says he predicts AI could wipe out like 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs
50%.
within the next 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially push unemployment up to 20%. He seems to think people aren't really taking this seriously enough.
That's incredibly fast.
Yeah.
5 years. And he's not just talking generally. The source mentions specifics like coding.
Exactly. It notes he predicts AI writing 90% of software code in just 6 months,
6 months.
and virtually all code within a year. So we're talking rapid transformation hitting tech, finance, law, consulting those entry-level roles especially.
Wow. And the sources say he thinks workers are just unprepared.
Pretty much. It quotes him saying most are unaware that this is about to happen and just don't believe it. He does suggest things like better AI skilling, policy ideas too, like a token tax on AI companies. The main takeaway is just the sheer speed he's warning about.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. The sources also cover a big distribution play, Elon Musk's XAI partnering with Telegram.
Yeah, that's a big move. The source mentions a one-year deal, agreed in principle.
Yeah.
It brings Grok to Telegram's, what, over 1 billion users?
1 billion, yeah. Huge user base.
And the reported terms are pretty significant, $300 million in cash and equity to Telegram, plus a 50% revenue share from Grok's subscriptions sold via Telegram.
So Grok gets instant access. What kind of features are integrating according to the source?
Things like pinning Grok chats, accessing it via the search bar, getting writing help, avatar creation, document summaries, the usual chatbot integrations, basically. And importantly, the source notes data access is limited just direct interactions with Grok.
Interesting. It definitely shows how these AI companies are scrambling for users and data, right?
Yeah.
Platform partnerships are clearly a major strategy.
Absolutely. And speaking of new platforms, Opera is launching something called Neon.
Yeah. Described as the first AI agentic browser. What does agentic mean in this context?
Well, the idea is it's designed to automate web tasks for you
Mm.
and create content using AI agents right in the browser. You might even be able to code using natural language.
So it goes beyond just showing you websites.
Right. The details mentioned include an integrated AI assistant, a feature to automate routine stuff like booking travel or shopping. They teased this as browser operator before. And cloud-based AI agents that can work offline to build things, maybe games or websites. It's planned as a premium subscription, apparently, with a waitlist open now.
And this follows others like Arc, leaning into AI. Yeah. The source notes that trend.
It does. The future of browsing seems very AI native, but it'll be a crowded space with Chrome and others likely jumping in too.
Makes sense. One more interesting development mentioned in the new capabilities area, Godella.
Right, Godella. The source says it's a YC-backed startup, ex-Apple, Google, Intel folks. They've got a model trained on real-world physics data.
Physics data. And the claim is it can, solve engineering problems faster.
Yeah, faster, meaning potentially speeding up R&D from weeks or months down to just hours, according to the source. It lets researchers simulate things with text prompts like check a car's aerodynamics or brainstorm a particle accelerator design.
Hours instead of months. That's a huge potential accelerator for physical sciences and engineering.
Definitely. And, connecting back to that jobs discussion, the sources specifically mention this idea of the year of AI agents and what it means for work.
Right, and they give an example. Retool.
Yes, Retool. It's an app-building startup. They launched an agent platform, and they're claiming it's already tackled 100 million hours of work for clients.
Wait, 100 million hours? That sounds like a lot.
It is. The source equates that to 5,000 employees working for a decade, just to give it scale.
Wow. Okay.
And while, many agents still need human supervision, Retool's platform apparently lets you assemble an elite AI team to handle whole workflows. Humans become more like managers.
And Retool thinks this could automate,
Hmm.
what was the figure?
The source says Retool thinks this approach could automate 10% of U.S. labor by 2030.
10% by 2030. Again, that really echoes Dario Amodei's warning about unemployment hitting 10–20% in 5 years, particularly for those entry-level white-collar jobs.
Exactly. It brings up that core question, is AI replacing jobs or just changing them, enhancing them maybe? The source does mention the possibility, like with other tech SIFs, that AI might create new roles or empower smaller businesses and entrepreneurs. Presents both sides, really.
Okay, so besides those big topics, the source has also provided a kind of rapid-fire list, everything else in AI today. Let's touch on those quickly, maybe slow the pace just a touch, as the source suggested.
Sure. So first, Anthropic announced Reed Hastings, the Netflix co-founder, has joined their board.
Okay, notable name there. And OpenAI.
OpenAI opened a forum for developers who want to sign in with ChatGPT option for their apps. Suggests wider availability might be coming soon.
Right, platform play again.
Then Odyssey showed off an interactive video world model. Basically, AI video you can actually interact with in real time.
Interesting. What else?
Chinese researchers developed FLARE, that's an AI model for predicting stellar flares. Could help understand stars, maybe even find habitable exoplanets. DeepSeek apparently rolled out an update to their reasoning model, R1, sort of quietly. The source calls R1 industry-shaking and suggests this update paves the way for its successor.
Okay, keeping an eye on DeepSeek then.
And Odyssey, that AI lab again, also launched a platform letting you interact with videos by sort of navigating beyond the frame, a step towards immersive 3D world generation, maybe?
And Google Photos.
Celebrating its 10th birthday with a new AI editor lets you adjust multiple effects at once using text prompts, things like that.
Makes sense for Google Photos. Anything else on that list?
Just one more. Mistral, the French AI startup, unveiled Code Thestral Embed. It's a model focused on programming tasks, finding missing code, grouping code by function.
Got it. Lots of different angles there.
Yeah.
And finally, the source has listed some trending AI tools.
Yeah, quick rundown. There's voice mode for Claude on mobile, letting you talk to it naturally.
Okay.
Mistral Agents API for building AI agents. Paint with Ember real-time image generation while you paint. And Magic Path, an infinite canvas for AI creation.
So tools for interaction, building, and creativity. What else?
Also Piney, a visual editor for web frameworks in your IDE, Assist Loop for quickly building custom AI website chatbots, Clockwise, an AI calendar assistant.
As calendar help, always useful.
ReelUp for making interactive shoppable videos, and ToolSmart, which aims to make AI text sound more human. The sources basically highlight these as productivity boosters.
Phew. Okay. That was a pretty quick tour through a lot of ground covered in these source materials about AI Brief, episode 156, and the wider AI scene right now.
Yeah, definitely.
From potentially huge job market shifts predicted by CEOs to rapid advances in coding, browsing with agents, engineering simulations, creative tools. The pace of change is just relentless, isn't it?
It really is. And thinking bigger picture, based on all this, it leaves you wondering about the scale and speed, right? How fast will these agent capabilities really spread? What will the workforce actually look like in just, say, 5 years?
Exactly. A lot to chew on. Well, hopefully this deep dive into your sources gives you, our listener, a clearer picture of some key things moving in AI right now.
We certainly appreciate you sharing the materials that allowed us to have this discussion.
And if you found this breakdown useful, please do follow our feed so you don't miss future deep dives. Sharing this with someone else you think would find it valuable is also a great way to help them stay informed. Thanks for joining us.